Welcome to Toy Hill Studio. My name is Kendall Kessler. I put up painting demos and studio tours. Please like and subscribe, and please check out my intro video. You can find out all about me in 2 minutes, where I've been, where I'm going, what my goals are. Last time I did a expressive daylily painting and didn't get a whole lot into very complicated systems of color. And if you've watched any of my YouTubes, you know that I really like complicated systems of color. So it turned out nice, but this time I want to really get into color. And I'm going to do some chrysanthemums. There are so many different kinds of chrysanthemums, and I'm going to remember for once that there will be a link to this painting at the top of the description, and it may look like what I do now, or it may change some, just depends on what happens. As I always say, I like to be very inventive, creative, and just really explore in my YouTube paintings. But there are a lot of them that have such really definite, very interesting petals, and there are others that are real floppy. I like the floppy ones. And I'm really going to concentrate, as I said, on the color and getting a lot of color variety with the warm and cool. And if it gets real abstract, I might even get rid of the chrysanthemums. Just want to really have some color this time. Constant change of color. So I'm going to use a bunch of colors in my brush so that other little colors will come out. This is pretty much what I do when I paint in oils. And I like doing that so much because even though I'm working from something and it's what I want to do, I always want it to turn into something that reflects me, that has my own creative use of color and texture. And I will always do that. Unless someone wants to commission me one and they want it to look exactly what they have the idea they want it to just be exactly what's there, and that's fine. But otherwise, I get into being very creative and letting things happen, even though I do start from something. Already, I think that's pretty nice because I keep changing my color, and that's what I like to do. And I always like to have different colors together. Basically, this is going to be a kind of a pinkish one, but I am not going to in any way be a slave to reality in this one. I'm really going to let loose. And because it's a canvas, not paper, and I'm using it kind of thick, it's not going to bleed all over the place. It's going to be more of a traditional acrylic painting. It's going to be super thick because it's in painting, you almost always go from thin to thick layers, and it gets thicker as you go along. But I'm just not starting off with a really thin, washy one that will bleed, even on the canvas, and bleed some. Oh good, I've already gotten a lot of different colors. That's what I like. And I think I'll go back into those with some blue-green, some blue, and delineate the little petals. A little more. Okay, now we're talking. It's not that I don't like to see things that don't have as much color, but yeah, it's just I prefer to see lots of color and lots of vibrant interaction between the warm and the cool colors. Oh yeah, getting a lot of cool things going. Yeah, it still looks like a chrysanthemum, maybe. Maybe a little weird, but it basically looks like a chrysanthemum. And I can, go back into it. But I try to do these YouTubes in 15 minutes, and then if I feel like I need more time, I do that off camera. Don't want to work for such a long time in front of a camera. Prefer to just really get something going and explain to you a little bit about what I'm doing. And then I can always go back if I'm not real happy with it. That's cool. I do say myself. If I do say so myself, I think that's turned out kind of cool. And as I always say, you can't really see what those colors are doing until I get rid of the white, because the white is a combination of all colors, something most people don't believe until they take all the colors, spin them together, and say, oh, good grief, it did turn white. And it's cool. May not be a super, what's the one that's real? And I can't think of the word. The really China white or something, I forget. But it might not be that, but it will be white. I had a teacher who didn't believe that. So, I've been told that, I don't believe it. And so he got the colors all together, spun them. Darn it, they didn't turn white. I believe it because sometimes I work in pastels. I'm into lots of different mediums. My main medium is oils, and then pastels is secondary. And after a while, when I'm working in pastels, my fingers turn white because I'm picking up all these sticks, and eventually, it's they just all go together, and I got these white fingers. Okay, now I'm gonna probably lose my flower if I don't get kind of dark through here with this blue. I thought it'd be nice to have kind of a bluish background. Actually, I was thinking green. Well, both maybe. The green I have isn't gonna go that dark, and I've got a dark blue. Yeah, blue-green. If you've ever looked at color theory books, these things that supposedly tell you what your personality is like according to your favorite color and all that stuff. I don't really have one. Like a lot of artists, I don't really have a favorite color because I just work with so many. I mean, someone says favorite color. Well, if they say blue is their favorite color, well, I start thinking, well, cerulean, cobalt, Prussian, how light, how dark. And to me, it's just kind of a weird question. But I don't know if there's, I guess if I had to pick one, if they said you got to pick one, it's your favorite color, I'd probably have to go for blue-green. And supposedly, according to those books, people that like blue-green are difficult people. Well, I don't know if I'm difficult or not. But I've noticed I have rubbed people the wrong way a lot in my life. And I certainly haven't meant to. I have a feeling I'm not going to get a lot done because it's already 7 minutes and I've got 2 more to do. But I can do it off camera. You can get the idea of what I'm doing. And I'm getting white areas that I don't want. So that's going to take some time to get rid of too. But supposedly I'm difficult. I don't know. I know that I got a lot of flack from my immediate family that I was very stubborn. That's true. And that I always called a spade, which I don't know if people use that expression anymore, but it just means to really say what you think. And yeah, I've always had trouble with that. I have a hard time not telling the truth. And lots of times to be polite, you kind of have to fudge the truth. You have to fudge it a lot. Boy, I like that. I like the way that little red is going right through there. Yeah, I'm really glad I decided to do this, because with this constant change in the chrysanthemum, I'm getting some really interesting things, which is much more me. Yeah, I like a little more of that. Okay. Yeah, I did one a while back, and someone bought, it was really super expressive, where the chrysanthemums were really wild. And I think I called it chrysanthemums like fireworks. And they really were. They were just like bursting into the space. Okay, I better get moving here if I want to try to do this in 15 minutes. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I'm going to kind of follow pretty much the same pattern I did in that first one, because I really like the contrast that I've got going. I'm going to go a little faster this time. I can always spend some time off camera. But I just really liked what I got on that first one by constantly changing the color. Such a beautiful Easter day. If you celebrate Easter, happy Easter. I stay out of religious discussions these days. I'm rather religious myself, but man, I think a lot of people are using it as a you gotta agree with me or else. And that's not right. I think that's really something wrong that's happening in this country right now. And I hope we get back to more respect for people's beliefs, not you've got to think the way I think. That's not right. Of course I think I'm right about what I believe. Everybody does. But that doesn't mean people have to agree with me. And that's not right, but I do think we've really gotten to that point. There are a lot of people that say, you believe or else. That's just not right. I'm not sure what happened. I've read a number of politicians talking about people, this is like 50 years ago, I think, talking about certain groups insisting that what they believe is right and we have to all agree and go by it. And this politician, I'm not going to mention which one, said, you can't deal with these people. This is not right. And I fear for our country if they start trying to take over. And I do too. You probably know what I'm talking about now, but I'm gonna still not gonna admit to it. Don't want to get any problems here. I think I'll talk about something else. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's already 10 minutes. I think I'm going to be working off camera to really get what I want, because I would like to sharpen it up more. I do want it to look like chrysanthemums right now because of all the fancy colors I'm doing. I am getting away from that, and I don't want to do that. They can be super colorful, but I still want them to look like those floppy kinds of chrysanthemums. Okay, I'm going to do the last one real quick. And then I think I'm just going to have to turn it off. You can see where I'm going. And of course, as I said, there will be, the painting will be in the top of the description. So you can go right to exactly what it looks. And I always put the little thumbnail from my site where I post these. So you can really see. And as I always say, I'm not real good at getting the lighting right for these YouTubes. So you never see the colors as strongly, as nicely as when I modify them to get them right for my website. Well, 11 minutes. I do think I'm going to be taking some more time with this, but let me see if I can't get a little more covered. I like what I did with the blue and the green. I think that's nice. Painting is so exciting when you don't pay such close attention to it. It's much more fun. You get into definite systems, you gotta do it this way, you gotta take this brush. God, I wouldn't do it. So forget it. Not for me. I like to let things happen. Well, that's nice. I figure it's not time to do something different with the green. Yeah, so I can go back in and make these stronger so that they don't sink. I like that blue. I want to get back to that blue. That was nice. Yeah, really like getting that blue in there. I'm probably just going to get it kind of covered, but not really covered. Too much to do, because this is so much more like what I do that takes a long time and many, many layers in oil paints, and that takes quite a bit of time. Of course, with acrylics, they dry real quick, so I can go faster than that and get a little. This is only 5x7, a little painting done. But my large oil paintings, right now I'm working on a 18x20, no, 16x20. They take a lot of time. A lot of time, and I really don't want to put them on YouTube because I just don't want to do that. Even though I'm concentrating quite a bit as I'm talking, gotta concentrate even more on those. Really, really. I don't want to have to talk, and I know I could do the fast things, time lapse, but that's just not for me. I like to talk when I'm painting in the YouTubes. Okay, I think I'm gonna quit pretty soon and just start working on my own. Yeah, it's 13 minutes. I think I'll quit right now. You can get the idea. It's going to get a lot more colorful and it's going to get much more defined. And then I'm going to put it on my website. So thank you so much for watching. Please check out my Etsy site, my website. I'm working real hard on my Wix site now, and I'm blogging every single day. I wonder how long it's gonna last. I'm going to keep trying to do that. Very short blogs with a painting on my Wix website. And then there's WordPress and other sites that have my work. Thank you again.